the good of our nation.
Thank you, listeners. We're back with you on the hotline. Another big item coming out of the presentation. We heard that the opposition has filed an action in the court concerning the Portmore Parish Counties and Parishes Amendment Act of 2025. I've been trying to find out if this act is actually in force. And I've just had sight of the claim that has been filed in the court. The claimants, Leon Thomas, Claude Hamilton, Van Rick Preddy, and Fitzjackson MP. The defendants are the Attorney General of Jamaica and the Minister of Local Government and Community Development. And the claimants are seeking a declaration that that act is null, void, and of no effect because it is inconsistent with the Constitution of Jamaica for all or any of the following reasons. And interestingly, the second order they seek is an order prohibiting the local government minister or any minister in the government of Jamaica from appointing a day for the coming into operation of the 2025 Act. So when the claim was filed, the Act hasn't yet come into being. So if it is not yet law, how does this work? You're seeking an order prohibiting the coming into being of the law, and you're at the same time challenging the constitutionality of the thing that has not yet come into being. This is interesting. But I think we need to find out where we are with the law. I certainly have some concerns that I raised here before it really went to the Senate. But what jurisdiction does the court have to look into something if it is not law? Or not yet law? I don't know. I don't know. I see senior counsel calling me. Write to me, senior counsel. I want your thoughts on this. Write to me. Don't call me now. I'm on the hotline. 1876 9262178 92686. Write to me, counsel, and let me talk to you in the break. Hello? 2178. Is this John? 2178. Hello? Wait. Shinehead? You hear somebody there? 7615. I'm so sorry. 8631. Hello?
Oh, what is? I'm in shielded.
One done.
La Via.
La Via.
You never go to Italy. Me go to Italy.
No.
La Via.
Oh, or La Viva.
Yes.
En español.
Yes. Papito.
La Viva en Emilia.
I'm going to mash up this Spanish. Papito.
I'm here.
Yes.
Talk to me, Donovan.
No, I want to talk to you, but I'm not going to talk to you. I hear you talk about a little man who is selling from Barbican Road there. You see it?
Which one?
What's the little egg man with the glasses, man? I hear one of the man is you couldn't get egg.
Oh, yes.
You think me not follow the thing?
Yes. You know him?
I hear them raise the chicken round there now.
Oh?
Them raise the chicken over across where you see them I put up that bit. Catch me the delivery over the supermarket.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, watch you now?
Yes.
Me see it?
Yeah, man.
I drive up in one part of one of the back part where one famous musician live around there too. to come around Sandy Park back there. What right people have when the garbage now pick up? What right?
About right
Talk to it. What
clean
right?
environment.
Because we get the people and get some truck and everything. You see run a Sandy Park back. Sandy Park people, if me have make public mistake, call machine there. Machine, if you send 20-ton truck around and no garbage that pick up. And why I concerned about this garbage picking up, Mr. Shield, is the rat infestation. People don't know that rats, when you garbage don't take up and rat infested. It's what happened in a country, one of them country places, say Westmoreland or one of them places, them take over the place down there. Rat, Sandy Park people look at Mrs. Shields, this garbage now take up around them, see garbage, pile up, high. Round the machines.
Okay, so Audley Garden, you said this is where Sandy Park?
Yeah, man.
Yes. So how many days, how many days the truck goes there?
No, man. I remember me tell you, I deliver me to round them areas, a Sovereign and all them places, So them a fix a road before you go up to 90 Oak Road.
Yes.
We're 100 there, 100 that night.
Yes, I know 100. Yes, man, I see the construction there.
Yes. You see, some couldn't drive, so we take it and come round and drop out back up Sovereign.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, Mr. Shields, round at Sandy Park, have garbage, like about how much I them would have to tell you. I them would have to tell you what rights we have. We have vote. We have vote, and we have pay with taxes, and we have vote, and we have vote. What I do? I want them, the people, them at ransom for not take the garbage. Two minutes I talk to you. Mr. Shields, how much Prime Minister you know pass through your picnic? Them days, you have Mr. Norman, you have Buster, right? You have Donald Sangster, no sir? You have Mr. Shearer, you have Mr. Norman, Mr. Manley, Michael Manley, no sir? You have Mr. PJ, you have Miss Portia, you have Mr. Wait a minute again, Mr. Wait.
Siaga, Bruce Golding.
Mr. Golding. Any of them, they carry them spouse in them thing with them.
In where?
In the parliament.
Carry them go door?
No, me with wife and husband run the country.
Yes, but there was never a time when any spouse won a seat as MP, apart from Juliet and now Andrew. You can't just carry your spouse in there, so. And Andrew Holness didn't carry Juliet. She won on her own accord.
I'm not intelligent. I'm not intelligent.
You are?
I'm not intelligent.
You're very intelligent.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, if you think so, go up there and say the poem.
Eh?
If you think it easy, go talk.
But why you ask about the wife and husband?
No, because I hear I hear the overseas. The Barack Obama never care for him, and nobody no care. But I not hear. Only they care. So what I go on? So I go on. I don't know what portfolio.
No, good for them. Good for them. We happen to have in our case 2 couples: Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness, Daryl Vaz, and Marie Vaz. And each of the 2 women, as I understand, they didn't acquire those positions by merely being spouses. They worked extremely hard.
Say the proper word. Spouse.
No, man. No, we no business when nobody else do.
My husband.
Yes. My wife, yes.
My husband. It's not my wife. It's the spouse. Husband. My husband. You understand me?
Yes.
Say you have a proper job. No, Mr. Shield, leave that alone. What about Sandy Gully? When last year money grant to clean down at Riverton City that had to bridge there?
In one of the last presentations in the parliament, I heard it. I can't remember which one now.
How long that?
That's what I can't remember. I can't recall.
You can't recall?
No.
Well, you say you're pugnacious.
Eh? Mendacious. Not at all.
What are they now?
Good to hear you. Me gone in, a whole heap of people want to talk to me.
All right, go on. What good?
My name Hot Bread. 7615. Hello?
Oh, blessed, honorable, good personality.
Honorable Lazarus, I've got a minute and a half for you. Talk up to me.
Rastafari, I say short. All right, enough time that.
Mm-hmm.
When me I say a while here, me I talk about NHT. Are them invest in a SSL what year? Well, they say they don't lose no money.
Probably.
Are they invest in a SSL to build all of their house that cost so much million?
Not to build all of them house, to make sure they have good return on them investment if they did invest.
To build their house there.
No, not necessarily, because the money where them are used to build house, you can't invest it because you're going to need it. Like, no. But for long term, you can invest long term for money that you won't need anytime in the next 5-10 years.
SSL now lose their money. What a thing is. Look away. Anyway, the next one quickly.
Yes.
Me I talk about public sector.
Yes.
Increase salary. What do you like? You talk about where the government can take to themselves. What do you Prime Minister do all of them. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Come like you not agree with the go on. And if you check.
Let me take a break and come back. Hear you out.
Youth in conflict with the law can get a second chance through.
So when I look on these increase where them get on them salary or where them take on them salary, look on the network of all these politicians in Jamaica. All the from 1962 come up. Look on them network today. Them rotten rich.
No.
Then go.
I don't know which politician is rotten rich in Jamaica.
Right. The richest politician.
No, you can't call them. I don't know where you're going.
All right.
I don't know if there's any. But Lazarus, I do not disagree with the public sector wage restructuring exercise.
Yeah.
I do not disagree. I think, as I've understood it, we came out of a system of wage freezes for a number of years, over a decade and a half, where public sector workers, their wage increase was capped to about 3% because of the economic conditions at the time.
Yeah.
Now, what?
Sector is working government.
Eh?
We're not speaking of public sector people, it's those who work in King Charles government.
Yes, the public sector workers are the hands and the feet of ministries. So when a minister gives a policy directive, it's they who sort of run and make it happen. So they work for the people of Jamaica.
Okay, one question before you move this up.
Yeah.
So when all these public sector people about nurse, doctors, all of these people who work in the government of Jamaica about how go on.
So
but them salary, better standard of living.
No. So that's it. So they were crying for years because we were at a high
when
debt.
We who say the government of
the
Jamaica.
country.
When you're talking of country, you're talking of the people.
Yes.
Another the land, so we the people, the poor and the have not, the black population.
Haves and have not.
Yeah.
Talking about everybody. The reason we had a wage freeze, in fact, the wage freeze came from Dr. Davies' time.
Them wage free, because them determine wages. The system of government, them are the slave master.
No, don't talk, stay home. Come talking about for your own people now.
Then now we are talking about the government of Jamaica, them are the current slave master in this judgment here.
Okay.
And they determine our wages. Our wages to people, because them the work the system of government the work out is not at all already enough. It's slavery, you know.
Yes, that's fine. So we had the wage freeze because
they that word make me hear.
No.
They, not you. They have the rates free. Not a way.
No, I put myself in it as a person of this land. I put myself there. The country had the wage freeze, and we understood it to be that we couldn't afford more.
Truly.
So as a result of that, public sector workers, teachers, nurses, police, and so forth, what we did over the years was to sort of try to make up for the wage freeze by giving some perks at, say, the National Housing Trust, right? We give them interest rates much lower
This week I will give you a problem, you know, come have a simple question to ask.
No, you don't go to simple. This is the problem, you know. The question where you ask sometimes it is.
Be careful, man. You go and talk.
Yes, the question comes loaded, so we have to take time and break it down.
All right.
Right. So that's what happened. Then now, at the time when all of that was happening, we were battling a very high debt to the gross domestic product. So we got up to over 147% debt to GDP ratio. And we then had to fix the wage to GDP at 9%. So what we said to ourselves, imposed by the IMF, is that the recurrent expenditure, which is the money for wages and salaries, so long as we have this debt to GDP ratio, we mustn't be paying public sector workers over and above the 9% of GDP. And we did that, from my understanding, most times in the breach, but we try to sort of stay close to that ballpark as much as possible. But now that we no longer have this debt to GDP ratio of 140 odd, 120 odd, of 100, we are heading down to 60 odd. We, through Dr. Nigel Clark, he said, I am going to open the door and restructure the wage arrangement across the public sector. And when I restructure it, I am now going to grant increases to public sector workers as we have never done before, especially because when I look at Barbados, Trinidad, and other parts of the Caribbean, those workers are earning nurse to nurse, police to police. They're earning way above Jamaica. So they open up and they granted large salary increases in comparison to what we have granted for the last 10, 15 years. And then now the problem came in for a lot of Jamaicans because they used a formula which was recommended over the years, where the permanent secretaries, they are to get $1, I believe, per year, less than I think the ministers. And as a result of the increase that they gave to the permanent secretaries, the increase to the ministers ballooned to over 200%. But that is because of the movement with the permanent secretaries. And also the increases to MPs moved because the MP's salary are a percentage of the increase to ministers. So on the basis of principle, I've always understood the principle, even though the quantum has offended a lot of Jamaicans. And whilst I understand the argument, I do not agree with the dissatisfaction based on where the history is.
Quickly,
Yes.
how you continue to say we, I mean, I tell you to say they. Let me ask you a question now.
Yes.
With the way you answer. With the Cuban doctor them in Jamaica.
Yeah.
We were you talk about, you have to give up your visa or you have to accommodate the Cuban doctor in Jamaica. Answer that and there is pressure.
You think that is for me to answer, or is for Trump to say what he's doing?
Yes, we.
Yes. Happily a Jamaican.
Speaker, you make a declaration of we requiring and talk about the government.
But the threat is coming from Donald Trump.
Yes, but
And
I don't know to you.
no, but I don't feel that we should give up that program
All right.
because of the benefit that we have had from this program.
All right. So differently, either you give up the Cuban doctor or your visa. But when we look in at the Caribbean now, my sister, now I look under the King Prelia. Of all King Charles Prime Minister in the Caribbean, like St. Vincent, Antigua, and Bahamas, even Barbados and Trinidad that remain on the Commonwealth block, right? All of these leaders could have come out and say them prefer give up them visa more than to sacrifice the health of them people.
Mm-hmm.
by the Cuban doctor. Why King Charles, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Mark Golding, because Mark Golding, them party always linked to Cuba. And what a judgment. None of them, we know you come up and declare like this country. Yes.
But look, listen to me. Listen to me now, Lazarus.
Yeah.
You see, this is not the era for an overdose of testosterone.
Yeah.
This is not the era of open bluster, because sometimes the sentiments you express will cause consequences that you never even imagine on your people.
So Jamaica independent is questionable.
No, it's not questionable.
Because Andrew Holness said what they are, them can defend Jamaica borders and you no need no help from no external forces. Like America is external, right? So the whole of them.
We need help. We can never ever defend our borders. Firstly, the borders are so large and near unmanageable. I think we're using drones and some ship and some things like that. But the point I'm making is, because of where we're coming from economically, principles are very important. Yes, but I think we have to pursue.
We don't know nothing. We are poor and they have nothing in this country. We black people, the poor and they have not, them and those who have no helper. Don't know nothing about economic and economic growth.
No, but you must. All my time on this radio station, you know, I'm trying to make people understand the link between money and the presence or the absence of services. So people need to understand, if the economy is not doing well, you cannot fix road. You cannot build hospital. You cannot do anything. And I think what has been happening is that we have been pursuing, and I think rightly so, economic diplomacy. You let diplomacy stay where diplomacy is supposed to stay, which is in the corridors of power, in the boardroom. You talk about it there, and you don't just jump up, come bust me. And as soon as you hear something, you come out, come talk. Oh, I'm willing to do this, I'm willing to do that. Let your diplomats work, because the person that is now in the White House is extremely mercurial, and you have to know how to massage and slowly pull out the grass from under the elephant's feet. If not, all of us get trampled.
You know what him say? You Trump say? He say, black leaders, African leaders. Him say, Mark, you are human in this judgment. African leaders, you know, black leaders in the world, like Jamaica and on the continent. Him say 60 years, 50, 60 years, are independent. I want to set up the proper health care, education, you know, to no people, you know. When people are living in poverty with all the resources we want to sit down on, like resources in Jamaica and resources on the continent of Africa. When people still live in poverty, and say, I don't know if you're doing this judgment here, a bygone to kill no one people.
No.
First and ask question after, shoot to kill, make your maker, or face the judge, young police channel say, madden or prison. So when Samuda, when we hear I say, certain type of killing are going on in the country, that is evidently clear, shoot to kill. And this current government are doing it, Labour Party. Wickedest judgment government in the world. And you check from 1962, all the atrocities, them kill off all, them who are people down at West Kingston, they were there. Just to get one man who never commit a capital offense. Where they say a death sentence. Him and America. This government are the wickedest judgment government in the world. They are them go invade Grenada in this judgment here. You think this Jamaica government, Michael, this man who in power, Andrew Holness and Mark Golding. You know, Andrew Holness they were there, yeah. Them will always support America. And Jamaica is in America's backyard. And no, this is a leader, I know. He's an African descendant and a leader country with a black population. You know, to say this virgin is a puppet.
So what is wrong with that?
Eh?
What is wrong with saying you'll always support America?
What America done to us as black people. One, America, England.
Gotta go.
Enemy, them linked to them.
Good to hear you.
Do we all manner evil.
Lazarus?
Stay far from them.
Lazarus? Thank
and just
you.
want to get us out of this.
Gotta
place.
go. Headlines time.
You're listening to
On the hotline, 876-926-2178, 926-8631. We have an interview coming up at 10:15. This is with the Director of Professional Services Unit at the Mona School of Business and Management. Also 11:15, the President of the Jamaica Teachers Association. And we also have 11:30, 11:45. You remember Nenen? Nenen's Choice. She'll be coming, be talking to us about the Nenen's Choice initiative, and they'll be in Kingston the 22nd. That's Saturday. And we have BPM Financial at 11:45 with Money Talk 2178 morning.
Good morning, Mr. Shields.
John.
You answered my call early,
Yes.
and then the phone just went off. I think you know what I know that your lines have never been changed, no time at all.
Oh, you know that.
No. What I'm saying is that from ever since I've been calling, and you know what the last 4 digits.
Yes.
5.
Yes.
62178. That is what we used to use to then put on the next 2. They were called R7.
Yes.
So it has been from ever since I know Aja, and I've been calling with the program. Because you know, this morning when I heard you, and understand a little bit more, I called one of my friends, and I said, well, Mrs. Shields is back, and I'm happy. But I am telling you this. The first thing the Shields going to talk about is something to discredit the budget presentation of somebody in the PNP so far. No, listen to me. The person called me after you start your views. I said, John, oh, you know that Mr. Shield is so predictable.
Okay.
But Mr. Shield, let me tell you something.
Why don't you deal with the substance of the concerns I have?
I'm going to do this Mr. Shield. Let me tell you something. Mr. Shield, yes, there can be problems with the rent to own. What's going to happen? There are a lot of people who are going to, the majority of the people is going to make sure them pay them rent.
Okay, so you don't disagree with me that there can be problems, a myriad of problems.
There can be problems. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
You see, why don't we give these people a chance who would never able to own a home differently?
Yeah, but
if the mortgage payment, the shield, the deposit, that the government, that the PMP says when they form the government very soon, they're going to make sure your first mortgage used as your deposit once the NHC house. Why don't we give us a chance to work for the people in the shield?
Yeah, but
and why is it that every time something happens, we talk about cost? You see the money is here. As a matter of fact, Mark Golding said last night that there is a discretionary amount of about $600 billion that the PNP government will be using to fund a lot of their programs, and the money now going to nobody pocket money. Poor people of this country, people have endured.
Well, in the
John,
in the first place, I don't do histrionics.
You don't know what?
I don't do all this excitement that you're coming with. Talk to me on specific matters and let's drill down to it.
We are talking about specific matters.
But hold on then. One at a time. One at a time. As I said to you, I understand through the conversations I have here that this rent to own is part of one of the options available through NHT now. I also understand, though it's available, it is perhaps not readily used. That's one. Two, even if it is available to some degree now, and Mark Golding is wanting to make it larger, as I understand, Andrew Holness also announced in 2022 that it is coming.
What have you done to it?
No, but John, if I just said to you that I understand it is part of the mix from NHT, then it means that whatever Andrew announced, some degree of it is now happening.
You know what I mean? When I put point about what Mark Golding also said.
Oh, don't move off this.
This is $11.4 billion that is taken away from NHT every year
Yes.
by the government. It will be a thing of the past.
But okay, so that is such a ridiculous thing.
Oh.
You know why it's ridiculous? Tell me, when you take away 11.4 billion for 5 years from the going to consult fund to fund the budget, where will that money come from to show up the budget?
600.
Where is it? Yes.
As a matter of fact, this year, the government is projected to get a surplus of taxes of about $140 billion.
And what is that surplus of taxes going to do, John?
That money can be used, Mr. Cheese, that the people of Jamaica.
I don't think you don't understand this budget process. Before that, hold on, John. Before that, where you said the 600 billion surplus is?
No, that's $600 billion discretionary spending what the government has. That's fun. The spending discretionary if you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, but where is it held? Where is that money held to allow for discretionary spending?
Is that the Bank of Jamaica?
The Bank of Jamaica.
It is here.
John.
And when I've got around,
no, hold on, John. This is John. Hold on a second, John. As far as I understand, and this is why the specific information is so important. I always understood that the 11.4 billion was not to be something that you get from NHT without it stopping. But if you stop it, you need to explain to me exactly where that money is going to come from. You either get your money from loans or from taxes or from grants. So let me take a break. I think I have an interview to take, but I want to continue with you, John. Let me go to the break, please.
The Jamaica Orchid Society in association.
And where these monies are to come from. We can't print money. We can't just pluck things out. And as far as I understand, we certainly moved when Nigel Clark was finance minister from having these funds with surpluses and moved as much as possible into the consolidated fund in relation to the NHT. As you recall, the law had to be amended to accommodate the use of the special fund for any purposes apart from the fund. And I don't expect that it is to continue. So in principle, I agree with that point. But if we pull away this money, we need to be told where that 11.4 billion yearly is going to come from now to shore up the budget. But we'll come back to that. I have Miss Diane Edwards, Director Professional Services Unit at the Mona School of Business. Welcome, Miss Edwards.
Good morning. Good morning, Mrs. Shields. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good to have you. And you are the same person who was at Jamaica Trade and Invest?
That's right.
Nice.
That was my name for 9 years.
Yes. And you're now leading the Professional Services Unit at the Mona School of Business and